Hey, welcome back. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, and if you guys are living in a part of the world that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a happy Thursday. So I've had a little bit of time off from work here, and I've been spending a lot of time playing this game right here, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. And actually I've taken a very large break from Skyrim in order to play this game, and I've really been enjoying it. But I have to say that when I first started playing it, I hated it. Hated it. And the reason why I hated it is all because of me. Nothing to do with the game, it was all because of me. And the reason why I hated it was because of the controls. Now, that being said, I don't hate the controls now. I love the controls now. But let me tell you guys something starting right off the bat here with this, because this is the big draw to the game, is the new controls. You have to have a Wii Motion Plus, which this is just my normal Wiimote with the additional little block on the bottom there. They do make Wii remotes out now with the Wii Motion Plus already built in, so make sure you have one of those, or otherwise you will not be able to play this game. But with this game, as opposed to Twilight Princess for the Wii, which also had some motion controls in it, instead of just going like that to attack, you actually have to plan your strikes out. Like if you do a downward strike, Link will do a downward strike. If you do a diagonal strike, he'll do a diagonal strike, or you got a horizontal there. He will follow your sword movements unless you move the remote in such a way that it kind of confuses the system, and you just kind of have to go out of it a little bit and press down, and it'll recenter the remote to 0. Kind of like the old joysticks. If you turn the system on when the joystick's like that, it's going to take that as 0. And we've all done that in these games where we let go of the stick and you just keep on running, and it kind of screws everything up. But so make sure you have the Wii remote, and it does take some time getting used to these controls, because I feel like, and I might be making a very ethnocentric statement here, but I feel like Americans, whenever we play a game, we like to hammer on that attack button, and Twilight Princess, you just wanted to, waggle this thing to strike your swords. Where, with this game, you really have to plan your strikes out in a much, greater fashion than I originally thought. And when I first started playing this, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't do anything. I'm not attacking at all. And it wasn't until actually I got through the first dungeon going this way, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep playing this game. All these websites say the controls are so great, and this kind of sucks. And then I just started to, just slow my pace up and think about it. And you have to have a real Zen sort of Japanese sense to you to really kind of, rethink how you want to play this. Because again, I want to do this, but you have to be very graceful and kind of think about how you want to do it. So the controls, while they take getting used to, because this game completely makes you rethink how you play video games, and that's a big, bold statement, but it's true. I've never played a game on the Wii with the motion controls that has really done what this one does. Before, I was kind of, I would put up with the motion controls, but they weren't that great, But with this, I can really see how the technology can be used and, where it could go from here. So hopefully, with the Wii U, if they announce some good games for the Wii U, they'll keep, the motion controls, because I'm really starting to see now, it's kind of weird how sort of towards the end of the Wii's life cycle, we finally see what Nintendo was getting at all along with this game. But, so yeah, the controls take a long time to get used to, guys. Some of you might just jump in and be able to do it right away. Some other people might get frustrated with it. Stick with it. I'm telling you, the controls, you'll learn them, and they're pretty perfect. The only thing I'm still having a problem with control-wise is when I'm running with Link and I'm trying to do a jump, and sometimes I'll press forward and it seems like the camera will just shift and then he'll go that way and I'll fall to my death. But yeah, I've had that problem since the Ocarina of Time, so that's nothing new with the Zelda series. The storyline. The storyline seems to be really good so far. You know, the characters do a lot more talking in this than they've done in previous Zeldas. It still feels like an old school Zelda story though, so I'm assuming that once I get... Because you have Skyloft, and then you have 3 dungeon areas to go to. I'm assuming after I do my first run-through of all 3 dungeons, the story will really take off. But right now, it's kind of stuck in that normal Zelda mode. So, you know, Zelda's, you know, ahead of you, and you're chasing after her and trying to save her from trouble. So, you know, we'll see how it goes after I get through this first kind of... You know, you always have 3 dungeons you have to beat, kind of preliminary stuff. I'm assuming the story will start taking off, but there is a lot of expression in the story, and that kind of goes along with the graphics, because there's really 2, you know, there's 2 modes of thought with the graphics in Zelda games. Either you're a Wind Waker fan or you're a Twilight Princess fan. Now, I would say there's you know, those 2, and then there's the Skyward Sword people in the middle, because this is a perfect, you know, mesh of the Wind Waker and the Twilight Princess graphics. You have the sort of realism of Twilight Princess, but it also has the cartooniness of the Wind Waker, which my wife, she really enjoys the realistic graphics. She likes Ocarina of Time, she liked watching me play Twilight Princess, and then when I put this in, you know, she said, oh, this is really cartoony, I don't know if I like this. But, you know, I've really kind of grown to it, in a way. I still think Link looks a little weird with his lips. I don't know if it's like a shading thing in the graphics, but it just, I don't know, it's a little weird to me. But it definitely has the detail of Twilight Princess, and it has the expressiveness of Wind Waker. Because, you know, a lot of people gave Wind Waker a lot of crap for, I think, a lot of, you know, kind of ridiculous reasons. You know, they didn't like the graphics because they were too cartoony. But when you look back at them now, they're gorgeous, and I've never seen a Legend of Zelda game so expressive as the Wind Waker. You know, people gave Wind Waker a lot of crap for all the ocean sailing stuff, you know, how you had to sail from island to island, and a lot of time it was spent just sailing island to island. Well, this game, you know, when you're up in Skyloft, you have to fly island to island. So, you know, no one's really given this game a whole lot of crap for that. I will say that the flying in this is a lot shorter than the sailing, but still, it's kind of the same idea. I do like the whole idea, though, of Link just jumping off of things and skydiving into places. It's just kind of cool to fly over like Skyloft and then just dive into town. That is a cool thing I like about it. What else? I think I've touched on everything. I touched on the graphics, the story, and the controls. You know, so I would say this is definitely... I don't know if this is a perfect game, because there's still some you know, issues I have, which I've had with every 3D Zelda. So I can't really give it a perfect score, but it is a pretty... it's as close as a 3D Zelda game is going to get to perfect. I think this is so far better than the Ocarina of Time. I still prefer Link to the Past as my favorite Zelda game, but I definitely say if you guys are on the fence about getting this, go out and give it a go, give it a buy. You can buy it like I did with just, you know, the normal version, and it does come with the CD soundtrack, or you can get the big deluxe box sets if they're still out there, which comes with a Wii Motion control, or a Wii Motion Plus controller. Although I've heard, you know, it's got a nice gold color on the controller, but I hear if you take it out of its rubber cover, that gold stuff can rub off on your fingers. So if you plan on keeping it nice, you might not want to use it, or you might want to keep it in the rubber sleeve. But it's definitely, you know, if you've passed up on some Zeldas, you know, here recently, which, you know, Twilight Princess kind of got good reviews, but I don't think a lot of people really finished it, or even really got it. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people bought it and there's just no one talks about it. But this is definitely one to pick up. Don't pass this by. If you guys haven't played your Wii in a long time, this is a great reason to pull it out and dust it off. And hopefully Nintendo will keep this going in 2012 with the release of Xenoblade, Last Story, and Pandora's Tower. If it comes out, I'll buy it. If not, I'm not really worried about Pandora's Tower. But really, Xenoblade and Last Story. I hate to keep harping on those games, but, you know, Nintendo just kind of, you know, now that this is out, they don't really have anything, you know, left to look forward to in 2012 until the Wii U comes out. So definitely pick this up. You know, these Nintendo games don't really get cheap, so I wouldn't say wait for a used copy. Especially you might run the risk of not getting the soundtrack if you buy a used copy. So go out and buy it. Just buy it new, because look at the Mario games; they never drop in price. So just go out and get it. Definitely worth your time. The music is fantastic, and the soundtrack. I'm actually kind of. I listen to the soundtrack and I can pick up the familiar tunes, but they're all put together in kind of like 8-minute long medleys of the tunes from different games, which is cool, but I think I'd rather have individual tracks, more tracks, have them shorter, and have them be the individual pieces of music instead of it all put together in a melody, not a melody. Forgot the word, but you know what I was saying. Anyway, so that is Skyward Sword. Definitely buy it. Now, as for the rest of the Zelda series, I was going to do a Zelda sort of series overview, but every time I start to film it, something goes wrong, and this is like the third time that I've tried to film this Skyward Sword video, because with the dehumidifier over here going off and then my camera completely screwed up, like I'm having a hard time making videos this week for some reason. So I'm still planning on doing the Zelda overview, the Zelda series that I have, and talk about those, but it might be a few videos down the road. I don't know. Every time I start doing it, I kind of lose my mind. But that was my thoughts on Skyward Sword. Amazing, amazing game. Might be a little controversial here, but I'm actually having more fun playing this than Skyrim. So I really like Skyrim. So if that tells you anything, yeah, definitely my favorite modern Zelda. So go out and buy it. And that's it for right now. So I guess I will see you guys next video. Hopefully I won't wait a week to make another video, and I'll have one out here soon here for you, because I have another game that I'm playing on my computer right now as a download. I don't want to say what it is yet, because I want to, some of you RPG fans out there that crave a 2D RPG will really be interested in this next video and the game I'm playing. So hopefully I'll get that up for you guys real quick, and you can see what I've kind of stumbled upon. It feels like a little gem, a little treasure that I want to share with you guys. So that'll probably be the next video. So until then, take care.